With the Black Ops timeline finally out, just as of like a few weeks ago, I decided it would be a fun idea to make a tier list of not just the Black Ops games, but every Call of Duty game, or at least every major one. Because as you can see, I have a lot of the older ones and a lot of the niche ones down here in Never Played already, and I also, I took, my own liberties and I put the Zombies games in here, as well as Warzone 2.0 and Blackout. I'm going to include the Zombies games in my ratings, and for those who don't know, I absolutely fucking adore zombies, so everything that's pretty high up, it likely just is going to have a good Zombies mode. Also, I'm not going to distinguish between Warzone 1 and 2, I'm just going to combine them, and Blackout I'm going to include with Black Ops 4. So, Blackout is not going to get its own separate category, because you couldn't download it as its own separate application. So, it's included with Black Ops 4, which is honestly probably going to help Black Ops 4 because I don't much like that game. First up, we have COD 4. Now, I'm just going to place them right in the middle because, I'll move it up when I actually rank it. But just for right now, I'll place it right in the middle. I don't really have huge opinions about COD 4 because if you know how old I am, this isn't really my time. I'm not like super young. I do remember playing this on the PS3, but my first Call of Duty was actually Modern Warfare 2. So this game my family got, and it was kind of like a step back. And I don't know really why they got it, but they did. So while I do have memories of me playing this game, I never really, most of my memories about this game are kind of the remastered memories from Modern Warfare Remastered. So I would kind of play Modern Warfare Remastered and be like, oh, I remember that from the original COD 4. So while I don't have a strong opinion about this game, I do generally think it's good, and I will have more strong opinions about Modern Warfare Remastered, because I actually did play that game quite a bit, but we'll get into that later. World at War, I think I can just definitively place this one right now. I'm going to give it good, because I obviously had to play the campaign for the Black Ops timeline, and the zombies, while it is archaic, you can't really blame it for it. Multiplayer, I have nothing to say about. I've never played it, but I think it's generally a good Call of Duty. Next up, we have Modern Warfare 2. Now, this game I definitively have opinions on because I actually vividly remember my experiences with this game because I did play it quite a bit. For the campaign side of things, I absolutely love this campaign. I think it's easily one of the best campaigns ever. I know it's very action heavy, but it also has a very compelling story, and General Shepard as well as Makarov are great villains. So I think that side of things, it's great. For the multiplayer, I think a lot of people tend to think of it as better than it actually was. They look back with these big ass rose tinted, not even glasses, they got rose tinted like welding masks on because nothing gets through. None of the bad things about the game, like the hackers and the unbalanced gameplay, ever gets to these people. They just remember being able to get a nuke with a Harrier and a chopper gunner. So, as for the multiplayer side of things, I think while it wasn't great, it is iconic and it was a solid multiplayer. You fix those two issues, it's a fantastic game. But I think because it did have issues, it goes from fantastic to great. Black Ops 1. Now, I love Black Ops 1, but I will say the multiplayer is a little too slow for me. But, so, that's going to bring it down a little bit. But the campaign, it's perfect. It is peak campaigns. It's got espionage, it's got character, it's got that mind-bending story as well as action. So campaigns, I think it's near unbeatable. But multiplayer a little too slow. For the zombie side of things, I'm not a huge fan of Black Ops 1 zombies, but I do think it's really nostalgic, and I do like it a lot. Although, there are some problems with it, like I don't really like Moon, and I'm not a huge fan of Shang, but the other maps I do really enjoy. I think Call of the Dead is a hidden gem, so I think this goes right with Modern Warfare 2 in being a great game, although I don't think it really hits fantastic or greatest of all time, in my personal opinion. If you think it does, that's totally fine. Modern Warfare 3. Now, this is another one of those games that I never owned because we just skipped straight to Black Ops 2, but Modern Warfare 3, a lot of people generally think of it being kind of like Modern Warfare 2.5, which I don't really have a whole lot to say about because I never really experienced this game all that much, although I do remember playing the campaign and I remember playing survival at my friend's house. But I'm just going to put this game in mid, or I'll bring it up to good because I know it's a solid game. It's just not all that innovative. Black Ops 2. I don't even have to say it. Black Ops 2 is the best campaign in any Call of Duty game, and I will fight people on that. It is the best. Menendez, easily the best villain they've ever had in any Call of Duty game. I love the dual, the two timeline things. I fucking love that campaign. It's great in gameplay, in story, everything. As for the multiplayer, it's near perfect. Again, it has that perfect pacing that I absolutely love, and while there were some balance issues, it's generally really fun. If they were to fix all the hackers and stuff like that, you could go back and play it today, and you'd still think it was a great multiplayer. And the zombies, while it does have, a lot of bad maps, it also has Mob of the Dead and Origins, and, some people even put Buried up there, which, I'm not opposed to because I love Buried. So while it does have low lows, it has really high peaks that I think easily make up for the low lows in zombies. So overall, this game, absolutely fantastic. You remaster Black Ops 2, give it back to people, you never have to make another Call of Duty ever again. Now, when we're talking about Ghosts, I have to mention that I didn't really play this game a whole lot. I did play it, and I did own it, and I have opinions on it, but I just went back to playing Black Ops 2 when this game released. When this game released, a lot of people weren't fans of it, and they just went back to playing Black Ops 2, and I was one of those people. Black Ops 2 had zombies, it had, in my opinion, the better multiplayer, and it had a better campaign. Because Ghosts, overall, I think is just a mid-game. So I'm going to leave it right here, because while Extinction was kind of fun, and while its campaign wasn't necessarily bad, and while its multiplayer wasn't horrible, it just, for as many bad things as it has, it also has as many good things. So I think it levels out at mid. Advanced Warfare. Now, other than Second Son, this was the only other game I had on the PS4 for 6 months until Black Ops 3 came out. So for the pros, I'll go, the campaign I think is really great. Jonathan Irons people tend to put as the best villain, and a lot of people even think he's right, but he's just charismatic. The multiplayer, while fun, I really think that the exosuits being kind of janky and the loot boxes really bring it down. It was a little pay to win, and that made it kind of shitty. The zombies was fun, although it got worse over time. It's kind of like Cold War in that way, where it just kind of, there were some really good maps, like they came back on the third expansion and all that, but overall, I think, the zombies wasn't that great. And again, the exosuits are, I think, a main factor in doing that, because they were really, really janky. So I think I'm going to give it I'm just going to give it a good, because I do think it was a good Call of Duty, but I wouldn't put it as one of the greats. Although I will say I would love to see an Advanced Warfare 2 where they address all the criticisms of the first one, because I think we've reached that part in the cycle where people really want the futuristic Call of Duties back, because now it's nostalgic, which is weird for me. Black Ops 3. Now, I don't think I have to say it. I already said I'm a zombies guy. It's best of the best. It's kind of a hack because it has Zombies Chronicles, so it has all of the best maps all put into one game. But even that said, I just think this is a fantastic Call of Duty. The only place where it really falls short is the campaign. It's just not that fun, and it's way too convoluted. Even for someone like me who truly understands the story, it's just not a great campaign. Just, fun factor, it's just not all that there. But multiplayer, I think it's a good multiplayer. I would have to detract points because I'm not a fan of loot boxes whatsoever. And the zombies, I think it's not even a debate. Greatest zombies of all time. It's absolutely peak. Infinite Warfare. Now, this game, I got some opinions about this game, because as a lot of people have come to realize, this game has the most underrated campaign of all time. It is actually amazing. If we're talking just straight campaigns, this goes fantastic. It's insanely good. And then you talk about the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is just Black Ops 3, but worse. So that brings it down I would say all the way down to mid. But then you talk about the zombies, and the zombies is pretty damn good. Like, a lot of people compare it to Black Ops 3, and it kind of got shafted because of Chronicles, but the zombies is good when you stand alone. Like, Spaceland alone is a great zombies map. The others kind of fall off a little bit. I mean, Rave is really good, but, you know, all things considered, campaign, great. Zombies is good to great, and multiplayer is mid to bad. So I'm going to put this, I'm really tempted to put it, like, if there was an in-between, I would put it there. I'm going to put it in mid. Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, this is going to be a surprise, but I'm putting this all the way up in fantastic. While this game did have some problems with the loot boxes, and, you know, it is a remaster, so it's really easy. It just gets easy points. I absolutely loved this game's multiplayer. It was my saving grace during that entire year of Infinite Warfare. I would play Infinite Warfare Zombies, and I would play Modern Warfare Remastered multiplayer. And I even got this game platinum. I have a video. I have multiple old videos that maybe I'll eventually react to of me playing this game. I have that little squeaker voice, and I'm talking like it's 2 a.m. But I absolutely adore this game. I think this is one of the greatest Call of Duties, not because it's so original or because it's so innovative, just simply because it came out at the right time. It saved that year where, you know, most people would have just given up on Call of Duty entirely because of Infinite Warfare. World War II. Now, this game I have a love-hate relationship with, because while it was a return to form for Call of Duty and, you know, we're going back to our roots, it also under-delivered on a lot of things, and a lot of the issues it had weren't resolved until the game died, which is a problem Call of Duty has always had, but still, it's a lot more vivid for this game for me. So, the campaign, you know, talking about it, one of the most forgettable campaigns ever. I think it's definitively pretty mid. The multiplayer was a return to, you know, the roots, but for me, it wasn't, because I'd been playing Modern Warfare Remastered that whole time. So for me, it just kind of felt like I kept playing Call of Duty. I don't know. A lot of people, you know, gave this a lot more credit than it should have. And then the zombies wasn't all that good. I'm going to put this in mid. Black Ops 4. Now, this game, I'm just going to, there's a lot of these games where I have stronger opinions on. I'm just going to play some right off the bat. Yeah, bad. I do not like Black Ops 4. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was trash, but there's one thing I cannot forgive Black Ops 4 for doing. Well, there's a few things, like the perk system in Zombies. That was the dumbest shit they've ever done in Zombies. It completely ruined the game. So that's one of them. The other one was that they promised no weapons in the reserves. So like that game's loot boxes. Then they did it. Like as soon as the game started to die, they just decided we're gonna gut the game, and then they just put weapons in the loot boxes. So those are like two things that I cannot forgive them for, and scrapping the campaign. So they basically just didn't have enough time to develop a Call of Duty, and so they just scrapped the campaign. So no campaign. They, you know, did shit that they promised they wouldn't, and they ruined Zombies. That's where it puts me in bad. The only thing that was really cool about this game was Blackout, but even then I don't think it saves it, because Warzone was better than Blackout, even though I have my own opinions about Warzone. Modern Warfare. Now this truly did revolutionize Call of Duty. This was what World War II was kind of supposed to be, where it was a return to form. We're truly reinventing what the franchise is. And you can see that in a lot of its aspects. You know, Gunsmith, there's like way better graphics, and it's way more fluid, and it leans more towards the realistic type of gameplay. All that to say, I'm not a huge fan of it, because it was a little too slow in my opinion, and a little too bare bones. Because obviously, this was the time where they had to make, This is the time that they had to make Warzone. So a lot of the things in this game had to be gutted to make more resources for Warzone. Me, I'm not a huge fan of Warzone. I'm going to put it in mid, because while I had fun playing it, I think it has kind of ruined Call of Duty. Actually, I'm putting it in bad. And because of that, I think it makes Modern Warfare, where it could have been a great or even fantastic or greatest of all time game, it just makes it good. So that's these are tied together, so that's why I'm kind of ranking them together. So yeah, Warzone, general opinion, I think it has kind of ruined Call of Duty by pulling resources away from the main game. But if you love Warzone, I don't fault you for thinking either the opposite opinion or disagreeing with me entirely. Because if you really love Warzone, you would say, I don't care that it's pulling resources. Personally, I don't, so I'm not a huge fan of it. Cold War. Now, Cold War, I have a lot of opinions about, because while I do think that this game probably would just rate an either mid or good, it's insane to me that this game was developed during COVID, so this game shouldn't even be like playable. It is a miracle that we even got a playable game that is halfway decent. So, like, honestly, that does sway my opinion, and that might be a little cringe to some people, but that does sway my opinion. The fact that we got a campaign that people think is pretty good, and we got a multiplayer that was actually functional, and that we got a zombies that was at least in some parts fun to play, I think gives it good. Just simply because I think it is a good Call of Duty, but I gotta give it those points for even existing in a playable state because it was developed during COVID. It's absolutely insane. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up videos or do some research about it, because it's crazy that we even got this game. Modern Warfare 2. Now, I didn't play a whole lot of Modern Warfare 2 because all it had was a multiplayer and campaign, but I generally think it's a fairly good Call of Duty, although this game, in my opinion, has to be tied to its successor, I guess you could call it, Modern Warfare 3, which I'm going to put definitively in bad, because these two games should be combined. This should not exist. I hate this game. This game is shit, because it should not exist. This should be up here, but instead, because I know Modern Warfare 3 is actually a good game. I know that people actually like it because it fixed a lot of the problems Modern Warfare 2 had. But because they're, selling us an expansion or a patch for $60, I can't give Modern Warfare 2 anything other than good, and I can't give Modern Warfare 3 really any credit because it's just not that much content if you actually think about it. So I'm gonna put Modern Warfare 3 in bad, because first off, I didn't buy it, and although I did watch a lot of videos about it, and Modern Warfare 2, I'm gonna put definitively in mid, I think, because it could have been better if it was just given the chance. But to me, I feel like they held back a lot of content just to give Modern Warfare 3 a fighting chance and to put a price tag on it, which I think is just unacceptable to me. Finally, we got Black Ops 6. I think Black Ops 6, as it is right now, even with a lot of the controversies that are going on as we speak, which is, the AI stuff and all that, I think that this is going to go down in history as a great Call of Duty game. I don't know if it'll get fantastic. Maybe if they skipped a year, which is what they totally should do, it might get fantastic, but right now, I'm just going to give it great, because I do really love the zombies. I love the new map, Citadel de Mor. I wish I could stream it, although my internet's not that great. So I really love the zombies. I think the multiplayer is really fun. Omni Movement is a great addition to multiplayer, and the campaign is a little underwhelming, but if you're just playing it to have fun, it's a pretty good campaign. But I really do think multiplayer is actually a step in the right direction, and zombies is kind of like a second peak for zombies, which is kind of crazy. We're seeing the community kind of get revived, not really to a state that it was in Black Ops 3, but to a state where it's actually, it exists again, which is kind of cool. So yeah, this is my definitive tier list. If you want to see more of these videos, feel free to tell me in the comments. Maybe I'll make one that's specifically for zombies, or I'll look at some of the other videos I've made and make some about that. Just, tell me what you want to see. Other than that, I'm going to try to focus more on members-only content in 2025. I have another one that I just recorded about Just Cause 3. That'll go up probably a few days after this. But, yeah, I'm going to go edit this real fast, and you'll see it today.